This cup says, no one is you, and that is your superpower. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 163 of our challenge, our annual challenge, our BU 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us. This month, we're focusing on relationship well-being. And today's topic is life is a mirror. Now, I learned this from my dad when I was a little girl. His favorite poem was The Man in the Looking Glass, or The Face in the Mirror, or something, or The Man in the Mirror. I can't remember the title of it exactly. You can Google it and find it. It's a great poem. And basically it talks about what we do and how we live our life. It doesn't matter as much to other people as it matters to us at the end of the day when we look in the mirror and how we feel about ourselves. So I'm going to share an exercise with you today. It's called the mirror exercise that I learned from Louise Hay. I love Louise Hay. She started her personal development publishing business in her 60s, which I could absolutely positively relate to, starting a new business in my 60s. And she impacted literally millions and millions and millions of people, probably tens of millions, if not 100 million people. And her business is still thriving today. Dr. Wayne Dyer and all so many big names, especially on the end of what would be considered foo-foo or airy-fairy back in the day when she first got started. She represents a lot of those authors. She's done the card decks that I so love. She started those card decks. As far as I know, she was the one that first started publishing those card decks. And I have like 25 different decks right now. I love them because they're a quick and easy reminder of something that we want to think about today, a positive message that we can carry with us throughout the day. So the mirror exercise. So what does this mean? What does this mean, life is a mirror? I'm going to read a couple things I got off the internet, of course. Just some things about mirror and mirrors and the mirroring concept. When we look at ourselves in the mirror, and when we look in a mirror, it gives us, it's just like a Polaroid picture, right? It gives us a quick snapshot of what is going on right this instant. It doesn't, some mirrors distort, think of the fun houses and carnivals and festivals and state fairs and things where you go in and they have the mirror house with all the different distorting mirrors that make you tall and fat and thin and short and whatever different ways they make you wiggly waggly. Wiggly waggly, that's a technical term. So normally when we're looking in a regular mirror, and I don't know why I didn't grab a mirror, probably because I have so many magnifying glasses around me all the time. When we look in the mirror, it just shows us what is, and it reminds us to be in the present moment. When we look in the mirror, we are reflected back to ourselves exactly what is. So if we're sad, we will see our sad face. If we're happy, we'll see our happy face. If we're anxious or depressed, we'll look anxious and depressed when we look in the mirror. So it just shows us life exactly as it is. Now, remember, it's just an instant in time. It isn't how it was in the past. It isn't how it's going to be in the future. It's just what is. So I like mirrors because they reflect back to me right now exactly what's going on. Sometimes I like what I see, and sometimes I don't like what I see. Mirroring is a concept of that everything around us reflects back to us. It reminds us that every person we meet, every experience we have is for a reason. We might not know or understand the reason at the time, but if we're wise, we think about it and not tons of time and years commiserating over bad past events, but we think about it and we learn the lesson that situation, that person, that place, that thing was there to teach us. Maybe it's that we went somewhere we shouldn't have gone and we narrowly escaped danger or trouble, right? Maybe we had a near-miss accident and that tells us that we should consider our timing and things a little better in the future. Whatever the lesson is for us. But every person in our life is a mirror reflecting back to us. Sometimes things we want to see about ourselves, sometimes characteristics and things we don't want to see about ourselves. Sometimes when people give us feedback, and I had an interchange with my daughter the other day that I was like, oh my God, she's absolutely right. I didn't realize I was coming across that way, but I totally am to her. And that's what matters. So everybody, everything is reflecting back to us, either what we're putting out in the world or something about them that we don't want to be in. They're not a good example for us, so we don't want to be like them. And maybe that's what the world is showing us sometimes, is just the ugly and the evil that we want to make sure that we avoid and stay away from. And to remind us that evil and good reside within all of us. And it's up to us to choose. I think this story is which wolf we're going to feed. Are you going to feed the evil wolf or the good wolf in yourself? And that's what you'll grow and develop into being then. And that's always our choice. Even if we don't feel like it in certain situations or believe it, it absolutely is. We always have the power to choose what we're going to think and what we're going to feel about something. Maybe we don't have the power to actually change a situation we're in, but we can always change the way we view it, what we're getting out of that situation, and what we can learn from it. So the mirror exercise is simply the practice, and I've probably tweaked this and messed it up over the years, but here's how I do it. You look in the mirror for 1 whole minute. You have to look at yourself in the eyes, in the mirror for 1 whole minute and repeat, I unconditionally love myself right now, or I love me, or I love you, or whatever works for you, but some positive affirmation, and you review it. And if you can say it out loud, all the better. But if you can't, you just look at it. And the trick is to look in your eyes and say it and see what comes up for you. Early on when I started doing this exercise, I would burst into tears. And that's a long story and a lot of personal development along the way. But it's a very powerful exercise. If you've never tried it, I challenge you today to try it. 1 minute, look yourself in the eye in the mirror and tell yourself you love you. And then share in the comments below what happens. How does it make you feel? Like I said, when I first started, it made me very, very uncomfortable until I learned that this is all I've got. And if I don't love myself, nobody else can love me either. So and if you want to find a better explanation or different variations of the mirror exercises or mirror work, just Google mirror work. There's a lot of different ways to do it. And since Louise Hay started it, lots of other people have made their own versions of it, just like I've probably tweaked and made my own version of it. It's up to each of us to do what feels right for us. All right. Have an awesome day. Any questions, hit me up. Do you want me to tell you what tomorrow's topic is? That's my question also for today. So do the mirror exercise. It takes a minute, right? 1 minute. I don't know a single person on the planet who cannot find 1 minute out of their 24 hours in a day to do this exercise and see how it impacts them. Do you want me to tell you the topics ahead of time or not? I can if I've got my calendar handy, but if I don't, and if it's, somewhere else or in my office buried or on my desk buried, sometimes things get buried in my desk, I don't have to have it handy, but I can have it handy when I'm doing the video if that is beneficial to you. If you're like me, you like to think a little bit ahead, let me know. Otherwise, I will continue just to surprise you in the morning so you don't know what to expect. And then you just do the action and then move on to tomorrow. All right, have an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow.